On number 2, it should read a resolution of the City Council of the City of Greenwood, Mississippi, removing state flag from all municipal property.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to have just a moment's discussion, just if I might.
Yes, sir.
It's not really very controversial. It's just, you know, I understand that some people are offended by that flag, and I understand it. And then some people are offended by the American flag. And I'm also aware of how I feel when I see the ISIS flag. I'm offended and bothered, and it does bother me. And sometimes I feel like some of the issues we have in the county are kind of like a sore on the arm. You just keep picking the scab off and it never heals. The objective is for things to heal. I feel like that if we spend as much time on social, economic, and educational problems in our community, it's amazing what we could probably get done. As a state senator, I think it's time. It's been 2001 since the flag issue was brought up for a vote. And I think the mindset has changed. People are putting ads in the Clarion Ledger and to put the flag issue back up for a vote for a new design. I personally liked one of the designs, and it had a meaning in the stars. It was a circle of stars that kind of counted the progression of Mississippi and how we got to where we are today, and those stars illustrated that. But if it offends somebody, I understand that. But that's just how I feel about it. I think that the root problem is that only reason the problem exists is to be solved, not to keep picking at it. But if we've got a problem, we need to, and it is to some people, we need to solve that problem rather than just keep making an issue out of it. And I'm not saying this in any kind of racial or negative way. I really think if we really want to move forward and send a message to the country, that we ought to go back to the state, redesign a flag, and bring it back up for vote. A lot of things have changed since 2001, trust me. And I've always feel too like that I want to make an image to the rest of the country that if we have to give up something a little bit to make ourselves more attractive to industry and get people to come here and get a better perception of Mississippi, that we need to change from the bottom up, not just these little surface things and these little things like this. But I really think that if it was redesigned and went back to the people of Mississippi, I think that we could solve the issue. And that's my point. That's all I want.
May I?
Okay. Senator?
Say. Councilman, I understand what you're saying, but you're not right. This town, this city is a majority African American. And by law, it's this resolution say we are not required to fly the state flag. It is offensive to black people. 247 years of slavery, 110 years of the worst kind of discrimination. My great-grandparents and all African-American great-grandparents gave free labor. And now y'all say, somebody saying it's our heritage. What about our heritage? That's my point. My point is, I had a group here last month. They want to know when we're going to remove the flag. This group comes from all over the country here. And it's going to hurt our state image. We're the second state to succeed from the Union. South Carolina was the first, Mississippi the second. We're the only one stuck with a flag that doesn't represent its people. How you think we feel? Look, how you think black folks feel? In a town that a majority of us, and we got a rebel flag flying over us, and they're just holding up one?
Okay.
How offensive can that be?
Thank you for your point, Senator.
You bet.
Okay. Mrs. Cookster?
I agree, it's time to change the flag, but it's not going to do any good unless it is on the state level, because the flag's still going to fly over the Capitol building, and that's what industry is seeing. And in 14 years since we've had that referendum, what have you helped to do to change that?
Progress starts at home.
Well,
I'm on this city council.
I'm just wondering
legally.
why.
Listen
Excuse
to
me, I
Senator.
have the floor, Senator.
You gotta have the floor.
I'm just wondering what you've done since 2001. Why there's been no momentum until a terrible, terrible tragedy happened.
Sometimes that's when momentum starts, from terrible tragedies.
But you said it's been offensive for 267 years. What if that
247.
What if that young man had been wearing a Christian cross? What if he had been photographed?
Well, that was not the case. That was not the case.
I'm just saying. My point was, I do think it's time for a change.
I agree with you.
Definitely
That's
a
why
time for a
we
change.
certainly can agree on
We
that.
do agree on that,
Yeah.
but taking it down on a local level is not gonna make any changes.
Yes, it will.
So you need my, so you're
All
saying
right.
you're saying you need my help because you couldn't get it done as a state senator?
No, I'm not saying that.
Well,
I'm
you
saying,
do as a
I'm
council.
saying progress starts at home. I'm a member of this council. All these men are a member of this council.
I'm-
We're talking about home. And we're gonna get it on the state level, but we live here. It's flying over us here with 7% African American. That's not important to you maybe, but it is to us.
It's,
It is to us.
it's very important, but I've also heard from African Americans and other people that say
You-
they don't
you're
even
not
know
gonna
this.
get, I don't think Christ got 100%. Christ didn't save 100% because some of them didn't want it. But to most of us, we wanted and needed to change. That doesn't represent us, it represents slavery. You've got 3 million people here, Ms. Cooks, and 1 million African American. 2 million are saying that we want that flag. And every time a black is lynched or something is done to a black, that appears.
When was the last time a black person was lynched, please?
Okay, you all, we're getting off the subject of what's going on. Let's,
Well,
okay, y'all had the floor. Anybody new on the floor?
I understand. she
Anybody
doesn't
new on the floor? Councilman McCoy?
Let me ask one question, my president.
Okay.
I know we've been debating on the flag for quite a while now. I think all the city councilmen agreed to removing the flag though. I think everybody agreed to moving the flag though. What would it do if we sent a letter in a support from the city council down to Jackson down there, and we protest that? I'm finished talking. Would that speak a lot more volume now than removing just one flag? We don't have one to remove now. That's City Hall. Because the other flag can't be moved.
I see
Can't
what
move the
you're
school
saying.
flag. We can't.
I see what you're
And
saying.
we can't move one flag. We
The
can't.
All
most-
right, let him speak. You
Only
finished?
one we have to remove. Would that speak more volume? I'm just speaking out now. Would that speak more volume though if we do a letter of support though from the entire city council? Would we get unanimous vote from the whole entire city council?
Well, no.
I'm just asking that question.
No, that wouldn't say
Question
more
I'm just
volume. I'll
proposing.
tell you the reason why. You got the most influential people in this, came from Mississippi, are on board for changing it. The most influential people of this state, and the governor not gonna listen. So I don't think from this council, the law said we may fly. It didn't say we shall. We may. We don't have to.
Okay, Councilman Powell wants to speak, and then I'll get back to you, Councilman Jennings.
You know, as Charles McCoy said, that everyone agreed the flag needs changing. However, I listened to all your argument, and basically, it's the same argument. You want the flag changed, but each one you express it differently. I also have expressed a different opinion. I agree with Charles McCoy. I think we should, change the flag, and I think that we should write something to the state, to our senator, let them take it away. Whether they listen or not, then they need to hear us. And then I also feel this way about the flag. The Mississippi flag have a symbol in it, and that symbol was hijacked by a certain group to dispitch it for their own purpose. And so I don't think the flag, matter of fact, the flag ain't never killed no one, never harmed anyone. I talked to many citizens here in Greenwood, white, black, and they all, majority of them said the flag never done anything to them. However, there was a few who want the flag changed, and I agree with it. I think it need to change because the Civil War is over with.
Yeah.
However, I don't think that flag represents just the blacks only. There's whites that doesn't like the flag also. And so, yes, the symbol needs to come from the state flag and should be changed. Yes, I agree that we should take it down, but I feel confident and sure that McCoy is right about what he said. We should send something to the state, whether they listen or not. Now, also, the Mississippi State representative, Mississippi State Cochran said what he said. Change it, right? So then, how's he wrong?
Okay, Councilman Jennings?
And I think too that all those people that signed that thing, the pledge of allegiance, didn't say anything about taking the flag down. All it said was that we needed to initiate change, and that change comes from your chambers down there in Jackson. It does. That's where it comes from. The buck starts.
And I would take the
Percentage
debate
of-
there.
It really does, I'm talking, and I think if a letter came from the council, it'd almost be like a smoking thing, and people hate me for that, call me Hitler. But I got rights too. I don't like to breathe smoke. Their rights end where that cigarette ended. The same thing about that flag. If you want to change it, it's got to be a state referendum. It's got to come from your chamber. So
No, it doesn't have to be a
But
state.
I-
You're wrong
but I
on
think-
that.
but
It
what I
doesn't
think-
have to be a state
I know,
referendum.
but what I'm saying,
You're wrong on that.
my point is, letters coming from bodies like us, bodies like the supervisors, from Itta City Council, from Greenville, it might start a chain reaction that might make some of those folks get up off their seats down there and do something
I
about
think
changing
it's
it.
going to happen.
But I think it
Councilman
starts with a
Jennings. It's going
roll.
to happen.
I think
But the best, strongest method you can send is to take it down here. That's the best, that's the first step. You're right. You don't have to waste that time. You can take it down here because it doesn't represent 70% of this town. And it, like it didn't represent 75% of Leaflore County, they took it down.
Well, it represents the state of Mississippi.
No, it doesn't
Okay.
represent. We are part of the state. We are a million. 3 million people. We are a million. We don't count.
But 61% of the people in the state of Mississippi, if it's a democracy, if we,
Yeah.
truly a democracy, David, we can go back. I think if a nice flag was brought up, people could still fly these flags.
We understand.
They can still
all of
put them
that.
in
I
their trucks,
understand
they
all
can
that.
still put them
But
in their
the time
yards,
is now.
they can tattoo them on their arms.
Okay, the
Councilman
mayor,
Jennings,
the
you
mayor
and I
had
debate
a
all the
comment,
time.
right, Mayor, you want to comment?
My comment is very simple, and just like everyone has made a comment here today, I don't get to vote, but my thing is that we were all elected by the people, all of the people, regardless minority or not. It's all of the people. So if we take a flag down, I think all of the people of this community need to vote on it, not just 7 people just determine the fate of the flag. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I don't have a problem with changing the flag. I don't have any issue with changing that flag if it's done by the proper protocol. But some few people, some have said that some of their wards don't care, some have said some of their wards do care. So put it to a vote.
Let me ask you this, Mayor. Every bill we pass here is passed by a majority vote. Sometimes we have a full council, sometimes we have 5. But what we pass is a majority vote, and the whole community have to live with that vote.
I agree with that.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I don't understand your analogy on this issue, why you gotta have
Because
every...
it's a state flag, so
No,
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 whether we
it's-
fly it or
no.
we don't fly it, it's
It-
still
No,
a state flag.
it's not required to be
Like
flown by
Councilman
this
Powell said,
county.
it's one flag over one city hall.
That's all.
That's it. It's just, I
it's
don't know,
not
it's not,
required.
it's not on every corner, is it, Councilman Palmer?
No, it's not.
It is
It's
not
not.
required
It's one flag over one city hall.
by
That's
the,
it.
by the state.
But let me make a statement. That rebel symbol is very offensive to us as African Americans. Not only does it represent slavery, it represents murder, rape, amputation, castration,
Yeah.
mayhem, you name it. And you can't associate anything positive with that flag.
That's right.
So I mean, we can sit around and procrastinate all we want to, but if you are progressive minded, and if you consider yourself a Christian, there's no way you can support that flag. Hate groups, hate groups, hate groups. What symbols do they use? They use 2 symbols. They use the Nazi symbol and they use the rebel symbol. So I'm still talking. A lot of people talk about, well, this is part of my heritage. If you want to preserve your heritage, you should be preserving something that's positive. None of that's positive. And you have a lot of people talking about the South will rise again. That's why a lot of people want to hold on to that symbol. But the South won't rise again. The old South is dead. And unless you're Jesus Christ, I don't know of anything else that died has risen.
Councilman Lane Cook.
No, I do not disagree with you. I don't with that. But also, you know, I work at Indywood with a lot of older people who feel that, you know, my grandfather fought it. They don't see it that way. And I understand why you do. I do understand. And I'm very sensitive to that. But it isn't just about hate, and that is the stars and bars you're talking about that has been hijacked. And that's a little different than the Mississippi state flag, even though it's in there, and that's why it is time for a change. But that is not the flag, the KKK. I don't want to be associated with those people either. And I think it's time that it is changed, but it is not all the hate. There are so many different ways to see it, and I understand your way. I completely do. But please don't think it's all just one way, because these people are just going, please, that's my grandfather.
We won't change, we want
Yeah.
the flag changed.
I mean, I've heard another side of it too.
Okay,
Let me make one more statement.
okay.
If you want change, you can't sit around procrastinating. If you want change, you gotta act. That's the way change that's the way change takes place, by action.
Okay, I think we have a motion and a second, Cinderella.
Yes.
Any further? Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. Oppose it?
I'm gonna oppose it. I'm
Okay.
not gonna vote, because I think you ought to go to the state level. I think
Okay.
we're
Okay,
pandering
you
and.
got your point. You, no,
Pandering
no.
and picking
Okay,
on.
that's your point. 6-1. Okay, thank you, John.
What's the vote?
6-1.
6-1.
Okay, all right. Motion passed?
Yes.
And I'm
Okay,
still a Christian.
okay.
That's debatable, Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
That's debatable.
I didn't miss Sunday school for 18 years. Let's see your feet.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything.
All right, we've done number 3.
But President.
Yes.
Like I said, it's just only one flag we moved in the city hall flag.
What you say? I think we voted. Let's move on.
Voted.
Please, let's move on. Council. Okay, we voted, let's move on. End of discussion. Okay. We've done number 3. Number 4, resolution to tentatively award a construction contract for proposed MVSU sewer connection project phase 3. David here. David Bowman.
David, you're up.
All right, we need quiet in the audience, please. Chief Moore, you want to shut those doors? Okay. Councilman Jennings, I'm sorry.
Like Councilman McCoy, I do think we need to draft a letter, and I will sign that letter for the change, to change the state flag. I'm on board with that.
Everybody.
And I think we,
I think everybody's on.
I do
Okay.
think we need to draft, and we need to propose to the supervisors to also draft a letter. Also from the Chamber of Commerce, from people in this town, to send to Jackson, to realize that this is just not really a political, racial issue. This is really something that we're on board about, changing
Okay.
this flag.
Well,
Okay.
I've passed down
Yeah, pass
a
down.
copy of.
Well, since we back on discussion, I got only right I give Councilman Powell the chair, the chair.
I want to add that when we take the flag down, we take it down with respect.
Okay.
That's the only way you can take it
That's all
down.
you can.
I said someone.
We're not gonna burn it.
No, exactly.
We don't burn flags.
Exactly. Councilman McCoy.
And I think the President Miller hold a lot of weight. We all voted to remove the flag today, and by Councilman Jennings saying he's willing to sign an agreement though, so we can send it to Jackson though. I think that'll put more teeth in it though.
You bet, and
Listen to it,
I'll do a
though.
resolution.
That's why I mentioned that,
no
put more
problem.
I'm
strength to it.
more for changing than I am taking it down.
I
That would've
agree
put
with
You
more
gotta
strength to
I
understand
agree with you, Johnny, ain't no problem, I think.
Well,
acknowledge it
I
for
truly
them.
believe when the legislators meet in January, that's the first thing they're going to discuss is changing our state flag.
I agree.
I agree, and like I said, that resolution was done 14 years ago. 15 years ago, and I do believe there's going to be a change with Mississippi being the only state in the union with that flag now, or with that symbol in their flag. So there will be a change. I'm almost positive. And once there is a change, I hope everybody agree. I would love to see our state flag go right back up.
Mr. President,
Yeah.
and we'll be down there in January too, President.
Yeah, we'll be down
So
there.
we
So
have to.
I
we
feel
can
like
speak with our brother.
sometimes economics force you to change.
I know.
And with people stop talking about boycotting things going on in the state of Mississippi, I mean, economics will force you to make that change.
You bet. You're
right. So, and that's what's going to happen
And
if
we're
we don't make that
tourism
change.
state too, Mr.
Right.
President.
We will lose some millions and millions of dollars. And I think economics is going to make people stand up and do what's right. And Mississippi always has a bad name right now, and with that flag is moving, I think it will help our state.
Amen.
This is the flag that was proposed in 2001, which I think is a beautiful flag. And the significance of that is us being one of the 13, not the original.
Original colors.
Right.
When everything comes down, we've been under under 6 other, 7 under the French and the different things, but we ended up being one Mississippi. That one star in the middle, we ended up being one Mississippi. And to me, I think that is
That's a
absolutely
good design.
a beautiful design.
Yeah.
But I think you're gonna find out that the mindset of people of Mississippi, we've matured a lot since 2000.
Exactly.
And it's, you know, I don't, any way you go, you step on toes, but I don't want, if there's one child offended by that, I won't change. I really do. I understand exactly where
Well, I
you're coming
mean, you
from.
got to look at this.
I
You
understand
got
exactly.
major head football coaches support this change. And they know it's going to hurt recruiting. I mean, if you look at Ole Miss and Mississippi State, a lot of they players come from out of state.
Yeah.
And being that as it may, they feel like it's going to hurt recruiting.
Well, it's not, everything's not all about football. It's really about sending a message that Mississippi is.
But I'm just saying it's about economics. Football's about economics.
Well, I know, but bringing change to the table from within, way down within. And that flag change will be a symbol of that change that's coming from within.
And once it changed, I would be the first one.
I actually like that flag so much better, you know?
I like it too.
President,
Should've
let me
made
say
it
one
on
thing
that
about
one.
President.
Yes, sir.
You know, I've seen this council.
As an option.
We discussed it, we debated on it, and then we came together as one though. And I like that. That's what people want to see.
I like that as well.
I like that. They want to see us come together as one, and we did it today. And that's what it's all about.
I want you to understand that vote, I didn't vote with that from history you're talking about. I'm voting to it because I
So
want
are we
to
putting another motion on the floor?
No, sir. That's it. We move on.
No, I'm talking about the resolution.
Oh, about sending, yeah, I want to draft.
You want to do that? You want to make that
I'll
motion?
sign that letter that I want that flag changed.
Yeah, I like those center graph down along, when we do our change though, that center graph down to the Capitol down there.
We
And
should
all-
fly
and
the
all
Mississippi
council, we
flag.
sign
We
it
should be
though,
one
it
big
will-
It would
I second the motion.
Yes, sir.
it would be better that we do this when we're in session.
Sure.
Okay.
Just don't think we can send, we do it one time and.
Well,
do
you
it
can
again.
send it
Might
to the
start
governor
something.
now, but as far as the Senate or the legislature,
Okay.
it's more responsive when we're in session.
You want
But I'd be
somebody to do it?
glad to take a letter, and I'd be glad to draft a resolution to change the state flag.
You want to
Everybody
wait and do it
knows
in
that.
January, Son Jordan?
Beg
That would
pardon?
be
You want us to
better.
wait and do it in January
Yeah.
then?
It would be
No
better.
problem.
You know,
Let me
they
ask-
started
let me ask a
a
question.
grassroots movement going up between other communities.
Let me ask you a question.
You've done a yeoman's job today, and that's far as you can go until the legislature convenes.
When is this convene?
January.
January.
That's what we're gonna do, right?
I
Don't
do
you like
too.
that?
I'll let you get on the floor of the Senate. You want to speak for the Senate?
Yes.
Well, President, I guess the-
Now that's how I got you forgot my name.
Well, President,
Yeah.
move on, President.
All right. Mr. Bo-